we need to use quite a lot of water as the rain comes. We must really make use of this water so that we gain whatever we should have. Our land is very dry, but we're trying to make the little rains that we have so that our crops can just do better. So these people here are busy trying to plant the sweet potatoes. We have sometimes had quite a lot of losses of these seeds just because they dried up because no rains. Anyway, I think this is going to be everyone to try and pull up all the unnecessary plants so that we leave the better ones for our better harvest. You know, crops are too crowded. Try and thin them out, pick up all the old ones so that we are trying to space and make up use of this water so that the crops should have some better yield. In this land, you can see, as I have often told you, that Zimbabwe has quite a lot of drought. We really suffer from drought. Then you can see we are trying to harvest the sun of this dried up maize so that we can make up some picking of some, just a few crops, few grains so as to use for our food. Well, you can also see that the whole of this land is just burnt up by the drought. I have sometimes told you when I was in England that a drought in Zimbabwe, it's serious, whereas you people talked of a drought of just 3 weeks or 3 days. But then look what Zimbabwe has. These crops have been here since October. No rain. October, November, December, January. No rain. You can see what drought is. Okay. People of Britain, I would like to tell you about Zimbabwe, the importance of trees in the fields. We have this mango tree here. When you look at it, you see it is green, it has some fruit, but the whole land has no crops. But I am still able to come and pick some fruit from it. Then that means I'm making quite use of this land and also the crop. Because when I plant some crops in the land with the trees, fruit trees, I still have to harvest 2 things at a time. Well, even though the drought has struck us so seriously, but I have some fruit to eat, okay? Then I think growing some fruit trees in our fields is very important. You know, during the regime we were told not to plant, to leave any trees in the field. But this wasn't really a good thing. With the experience of cultivating the land, I have really known the value of having trees in the field is very important. So far the leaves are going to drop and then make quite good compost for my... I would like to express what it is to me and also to the whole of this community here. This piece of land is divided into so many divisions. Each division has its own crop, which is a lesson to us. We are trying to make up a research over this. When I was in Britain, I visited one of the colleges or one of the research stations where I was shown different wheat planted in different methods. Some places the crop was planted without fertilizer because in Britain they use chemicals. Anyway, when I came in here, I had to make up some experiment also using the different methods. I used fertilizer, maize plus manure plus fertilizer, which is compound I use on planting. On the second portion, I only used manure without any other fertilizers. Well, to me, when I look at this piece of land, I have quite a lot of experience. The goodness of using fertilizers and the badness of using it, I have proved. But when I look at the portion that I planted using manure only, I am convinced manure has more life to a human being. Because crops, even during the drought, as it is a drought here in our area, we still have some crops we can harvest. You can see there are crops we can harvest from this portion here. Everyone is here to learn, to know how to use fertilizer and to use manure. That it is really nice to use manure than using fertilizers, because the portion that I had planted with fertilizer got totally bent because there was no much water to keep the crop. What's called a garden is a garden. Most of people think it is a place where you only grow vegetables like cabbages, carrots, tomatoes and potatoes. Well, I don't think it is a correct way of thinking when you take a garden to be just that part of land you have to use those kind of vegetables. I think a vegetable garden must be composed of crops you use to really entertain the whole family, to understand they have food, enough food to feed themselves, or else they have money to sell, they have some crops to sell as to get money. Crops like cabbages are mostly used for marketing, whereas maize, as you see what maize is, maize is the crop, the main crop, especially in Africa. People use maize as their mealie meal. Therefore, we can't separate maize from our gardens. So you can see I've got maize here as to feed my family. And also when I talk of a garden, it is a place where I know there is quite a lot of water. And also there are quite a lot of things that are grown in a garden. You can grow fruit trees. You can grow crops like fish. I can call fish crops because I have them in my garden as crops too. Therefore, in a garden you can grow reeds. Those reeds are used for making baskets and so on. So, the use of this water into this pond is used for growing vegetables, mealies, watering mealies, and also the banana crops. Well, which is really a good thing to understand. Therefore, we should always keep in mind that a garden is a combination of all these crops we use for our own feed. Thank you. I want you to just explain to you the importance of this place I am standing at. This is a well where I get my drinking water, or where we get our drinking water. Why I want to talk about this? I know it is the source of life, because the water that is found in the streams, in dams, in ponds, it's really impure water. But here we have this water for our own consumption at the house. And also I want to explain to you, you can see all these small pots here. These are trees. I am trying to make up indigenous trees growing in the area. As you see, our country is really running short of indigenous trees. So all these are filled with seed for our indigenous tree. Okay. So to explain to you people about intercropping, as I have often told you that our land is so small in Zimbabwe, so we make quite use of this land by intercropping, because when I have intercropped my crops, I know I will get quite a lot of different crops from the one piece of land. So in here I can show you I have pumpkin. As you see, this woman has a pumpkin, I have pumpkin. Here are some gourds. This gourd is called, I think in your own language you could call it a squash. It is in the family of squashes. Therefore, from this piece of land, we are able to harvest maize, sweet reeds, gourds, pumpkins, and some watermelon. You can see this is a watermelon here. Therefore, we are able to harvest quite a lot of crops from one piece of land than those who have big farms. You know, our lands, especially our gardens, were really divided into small pieces of land. Well, for me to have that crop and that kind of crop, it will be hard if I need different pieces of land to grow these crops. But then with the intercropping, I really appreciate it because I'm able to have all at a time. At this age, I would like to talk to you, to explain to you what this pump is here for. It is here to irrigate. We use it for irrigating our vegetable garden. So instead of carrying water with the arms in buckets, we use the pump for irrigating. That's where we irrigate our veggies and also our fruit trees, also our mealies. When I talk of vegetables, I really know it is when one has quite enough water to keep the crops growing at every stage. And also here we did build a canal where this water flows through when led to the vegetables. It is just about 200 meters long, this canal. So that's how we use it. It is used just for carrying water down to the beds. And also this community here enjoys the crops they have, because after planting, theirs is to cultivate, and one person comes here to pump water into the vegetables. That's how they work. It's no longer that hard system we used to do of carrying with buckets. Anyway, that's how it is. That's how we use it here. And also this place has developed into, I can say, a forest-like, because even these birds, what do you call them in English? The sparrows. Sparrows have really got a place where to live. Their nests right around here. But in Britain, I couldn't see even one nest for sparrows. Instead, I saw few people in Britain making some small boxes where your birds go into. But the sparrows in Africa have to make nests of their own. Oh. So I would like to talk to you about bees. This is the area where I am keeping bees in Zimbabwe. You know, when I was in Britain, you took me to a university where bees are kept. Well, also when I came here, I had to make up the tour to be of quite use to me. Then I made some boxes, which, of course, in 3 days' time, bees were able to be into the box. Therefore, I have a box here. It's a very big box, which really has 2 partitions, where divisions, in fact, where the other colony can also have a house on the other side. when the others are on the other side. I have quite a number of them. I have about 7 boxes in here now, all filled with bees. Anyway, I don't have much experience as that I saw in Britain, but the little I got from Britain, I'm really making use of it. This place is quiet, is cool. As you see, there are quite a lot of bananas around. So from the reading I get, these bees need flowers, need water, need cool places, so that they are not disturbed by anything. So I think it will be very nice for them to stay in this small forest, I can say. Anyway, that's how it is. Friends, it is really a pleasure to me to talk to you about the development as such. Each day has its own part played by the living man. I think for some times I have always talked to you, friends, that whenever you visit somewhere, you are likely to get something from there. Well, when I visited the UK, I was really able to see the good thing, the different things they do. The farming, the standard of farming, is very high in Britain. But then, when I came in here, with the small research arm, I am still struggling to reach that standard. It's still a way to go. Anyway, with the friends who have visited us, they have seen our problems. They have learned also what we need to have as to raise our standard. Anyway, I would say it is really a pleasure to us to have friends who visit us and also stimulate us in some ways of living, you know. Anyway, I really say thank you very much for your visiting us, and never you think you have finished. You shall see quite a lot of things next time. Keep it up. We really appreciate your visit. I would like to explain to you who these are. This is Gomo Choir. So you may have seen me in Britain and you thought I was just a man, a tourist who just told. No, I even take singing. Come on, ready? Sing. You can enjoy music. Gomo is singing music. You can see the actor. He's diving. Come on, dive, dive. They are singing. That when they are cultivating, they sing, they enjoy it. It is really enjoyment. They enjoy singing. Then I think you see how we enjoy in Zimbabwe. Even when we are busy cultivating, we even sing sometimes. What happened here in December last year, on the 5th of December, this young man here was able to grow some small fruit trees of different variety, different types. That's indigenous and exotic. We planted on that day 174 different species of trees, which really means in few years to come, maybe the whole of this home will be out of shade, it will be shaded, of course, which is really of a good value to it because it's a windbreak. So it is a plan that we're trying to and restore quite a lot of trees instead of staying in an open place. Anyway, you can see, you shall have to see by yourselves which trees are these. You can see pawpaws, oranges, mangoes, avocados, guavas, and quite a lot of different species, and also matowe, that's African chewing gum. And this is called muchakata. This tree here is called muchakata. Well, it has very nice fruit. We eat even during the drought. When it has its fruit, they are very good for brewing beer. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay.